Hey guys, it's actually Untitled here today with an in-depth Megalith deck profile, post-ban list. So we're playing the Gus Kraken engine to loop cards from your opponent's hand, preferably 5, don't want them to play Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, let's just go straight into the list and then I'll go into depth about the ratios, etc. This is without hand traps and stuff in the main deck, just because depending on your locals or event you're entering, be it like an online event like the LCSs, etc., or a local level event, if you still have locals to enter, you might want to play certain cards for your area. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So, 3 Megalith Fool, 3 O-Fuel, 3 Haggith, 1 Ben 10, 3 Child Slime, 2 Before, 2 Aratron, 2 Gustkraken, 1 Mirror, 3 Pencil Plume, 3 Manju, 3 Senju, 1 Researcher, 1 Candle, and 1 Talismandra, as well as 1 copy of Inception, 3 Unformed, 3 Prep, 1 001, and 1 COLTWIng. The extra deck is somewhat standard now, so we've got Entis, 3 Herald, Marcher, Omega, Abyss Dweller, M7, Granite, Dugarez, Hulk, Phoenix, Unicorn, Link Cross, Thorodon. The side deck's kind of irrelevant right now, but I'll get into it in a bit. So, main deck. So, you've got to max out on these 9 Megalith monsters because realistically, anytime you ritual summon in the early stages of your combo, you want to be ritual summoning for Fool, Ophiel, or Haggith. Primarily, the first 2 monsters you want to be ritual summoning are either Haggith or Ophiel, just because they get you that initial plus. So Haggith will either get you to Unformed, well, will get you to Unformed, whereas Ophiel, in majority of cases, will get you to Fool, but if you already have Fool, it will get you to one of your ritual summon from hand cards, so either Aratron or Before in this case. So do you just want to max out on these because you want to draw them? You also need, for some of the combos, you need triple Haggith in your deck because you're just going to keep like Unformed summoning Haggith or needing Haggith so you've got access to all 3 copies of your Unformed. Very similar like reasoning for Ophiel, some of the combos you need at least 2 in deck like to ritual summon. So the third just feels necessary. Also, you just want these level 4 ritual monsters because they're usually what you're going to be summoning when you're using Inception in your candle. Then obviously you want 3 Fool because you need at least 1 in deck for the combo, and then you need 1 for follow up, and then having the third is also good if you get into grind situations, just because ritual summoning Fool is so much advantage. 1 copy of Ben 10, you don't need multiple copies of this because you've got 3 Prep to search it, you've got Manju, Senju to search it as well, and also Herald will just search it throughout your combo. So if you haven't used Manju or Senju in your combo to normal summon, then Ben 10 just gives you that free advantage to normal summon, get another card, and then keep plussing. 3 Child Slime and 3 Pencil Plume. So I've seen some decks that aren't playing 3 copies of each of these, but I just think it's necessary to play 3 of each because anytime you open up a Child Slime or a Pencil Plume, you're just playing through so many more cards in your deck. You've got Child Slime and Pencil Plume both fill the same role because either way, you're activating their effect, summoning Candle from deck, and then you've still got a incantation in hand or field to tribute off for Inception. So either way, they both do the exact same thing, and you just want to draw them. So if you also just don't use Pencil Plume, if you don't have access to Pencil Plume or Child Slime in the combo, again, you just search it with a Herald, search your Child Slime, get your Candle out, then get your Talismandra out. So either way, you're resolving these cards basically every single combo, and that's just like why they're so powerful. Just because like anytime you resolve these combos, you're basically gonna hand loop a 5. That's basically what I've decided. Is like every time you have one of these cards in your hand, you're looping for 5 through usually through a hand trap. Obviously, if you have more cards in hand, then you're like dedicated to gonna play through a hand trap. 2 Before and 2 Aratron. I can definitely be convinced to play more copies of Aratron, just because it's the quick effects that lets you play through cards. So, in some situations, say your opponent has like imperms or any hand trap, and they want to get greedy and they want to imperm, say, your O-Fuel, and you just chain Aratron, summon Fool, summon Haggith, whatever, just resolve your Aratron to ritual summon for a different monster over the top, gets you another card, and you still get the original card you'd be getting from your Ophiel or your Haggith, even some cases your Fool. It just seems like really high impact in that situation. Before is also needed at multiples because if you have to search one, discard one for your combo, you still want to have one in your deck so you can full summon it during your opponent's turn to pop cards. I also learned that this card's second card is hard once per turn on both effects. Um, I thought it was just the ritual summon effect, but it's both effects, which is pretty good. So that like kind of sums up the Megalith cards. So Gus Kraken. A lot of people are playing this card at free because it went to free. I think this is like marginally incorrect. You don't need free for any of these combos that I'm going to show you to you in the next video coming out on Wednesday. All of these combos can be done with 2 Gus Kraken, and that's like why I think my build is better than a lot of the builds out there, because a lot of the builds are playing 3 copies of Gus Kraken, and it's actually just such a brick card, because your combos will always get you to Gus Kraken. So like, why would you play more copies of it if you're just gonna brick on it? And like, it doesn't actually start your combo, it's basically like, think of it in the sense that it's um, like a Borolo Savage Dragon or something like that. Like, it's a card you end on. It's like something else summoning throughout your combo. It's not something you're like, it's a starter card or an extender. It's just like part of your combo to create your board, or in this case, loop your opponent's hand. So I don't think it's something you want to play multiples of, just because like, or any more than necessary. You need two copies for the combo because you need to be able to loop them back with Aqua Mirror. Um, which again, I'm only playing 1 copy of Aqua Mirror because you can search it very, very easily. You don't need multiple copies of this. Again, same reason for Gus Kraken. You don't need a 3rd copy of it because if you actually like realize how many times that 3rd Gus Kraken will come up, it's like nearly 0. You're only playing 3 because in your mind you want to draw it, but realistically, any game you're drawing multiple copies of Gus Kraken, you're actually more likely to lose than win that game. So I'd rather just like decrease that chance by also increasing my deck size, which is why the list I would play, which I'll show you at the end of the video, is closer to 50, maybe even higher than 50 cards. Because you just don't want to draw these brick cards like Gus Kraken, Aqua Mirror, even like these 3 incantation monsters, your 001, your Coltwing. Researcher is marginal because you might want to draw that because it just mitigates the fact that you need Granite to resolve. But yeah, I don't think Gus Kraken is needed at 3, but you definitely need 2 for all your combos. But yeah, this card shouldn't have came back to more than 1. This card is actually insane for this deck. It lets you loop your opponent's hand for 5 very consistently. I've got loads of different combo routes that get you to a 5-card hand loop. And even if they don't loop for 5, you're still looping for 3 or 4 cards, like, consistently. And if your opponent's only got 2 cards in hand, and you've still got, like, a before pop for, like, 5 or 6 cards, your opponent cannot win that game. I'm convinced. So, that's it on the efficacy cards. I've already gone over the pencil plumes. You just want to draw these cards. I'm also only playing 1 Candle, 1 Talismandra, 1 Inception. So realistically, if you draw these 3 cards, they're all bricks. You don't really want to draw them, and I can see the argument of playing more copies of these, because if you draw them, you can just like, you still have 1 in deck to resolve, but I just don't think that works. You can do the same combo if you draw Talismandra. I'm still working out the full combo for this, but it does work just about. It's a little bit awkward, but you can still combo if you draw Talismandra. Candle, you can't really combo with, because you've only got 2 ritual spells in your deck, and it doesn't really work. You can do it mid-combo, but it doesn't really work anywhere as well. So Candle is the real brick of the deck, like, more than any other card in the deck. If you draw Candle, it's very, very hard to, like, play with the Candle in hand. So again, I'm only playing 1s of these just because you really just don't want to draw them, and by playing multiples, it just increases the chance of drawing them, and you just don't want that. So 3 Manju and 3 Senju, so a lot of the lists I saw weren't playing like multiples of these, but every single hand you want a normal summon, and I was playing this deck at locals the other day without the Gus Kraken package, because mine haven't come in the post, and you just don't, if you just don't have a normal summon, your hand actually becomes so much weaker. Like, every hand you have a normal summon, your hand is just infinitely better, which is also why, like, having access to Ben 10 through, like, Prep or Herald is, like, so important, just because, like, that normal summon is so powerful, getting you to either a ritual monster or a ritual spell. 1 copy of Researcher, you just want to search off Granite. It can be a brick in hand. I might test more than 1, just because, like, again, drawing Researcher isn't actually terrible in this deck, because you can still combo with it, and it just means that your Granite can either be hand trap bait, or it can just get you a free card, like an Arrowtron or a Before, so you've got more extenders to keep playing. Then the last cards, 001, you only need 1 for the combo. I'm not playing the Despot 003 because it just feels like a very, very weak normal summon. Like, they instantly hand trap that, whereas Manju Senju, a lot of the times, don't get hand traps because it's just incorrect to hand trap there, and then it just gives you more, like, cards that let you play through hand traps. 1 Coltwing, again, if you draw it, you can full combo. I've got combos showing this, which you'll see in the video in a few days. 3 Unformed, best card in the deck. I'm convinced it's the best card in the deck. Like, It's literally ritual summons from deck. You can ritual summon your Fool, basically every single summon. Fool then gets you any card in your deck, and then you just ritual summon again, and that's just broken. And then prep, this is also really cool just because it adds back your Aquamirror sometimes. So like, sometimes you have to Aquamirror before you get your second Gustkraken in play. So you like can prep, add back the Aquamirror, and add the second Gustkraken from deck, which just makes prep like such an insane card. Um, so that's basically the main deck. If you've got any further questions, just let me know down below and I'll answer them. The only things that like might be changed are like further copies of Aratron, just because you want more ritual summons, because realistically you're only playing these four plus your Inception and your forms, so you do kind of need more cards that ritual summon. So I can be convinced on more copies of Aratron, maybe even more copies of before as well. So extra deck, 3 Herald, you need all 3 for the combo. The Entis, also it's a combo piece, so you summon this by getting rid of your Herald and your Dugarez in most situations, which is like, it's really nice interaction because it means that you can play the Entis for Maximus, and you can also play it because it's a combo piece. Mantra for combo, Omega for combo. Basically, the entire rich deck is like combo pieces. Omega's really cool because you either use it to hand loop a card or you use it to put back Coltwing, so it's got like a dual purpose in this deck. Dweller, it's like a rank 4 that you can end on. I'm still looking to decide if Dweller's the best one, but I think it is given the current metagame. M7, broken card. Basically, because most of your combos you end with double Gus Kraken on board, you just want a rank 6 that just gets you further advantage. And it's also got bigger stats, so even though you're Dugarezing, skipping your main phase, because you've got massive M7 that just lets you play the game. Um, then Granite for a combo, searching Researcher, searching whatever monster you need. Dugarez summons back either Herald or 001 majority of the time just so you can combo. Hulk combo, Link Cross combo, Auroradon combo, Phoenix. This is really an interesting pick because not only does it let you play through cards, like play through back row cards, but it also lets you just go into your Link Cross, get 2 tokens, so you can use it going first as well, without taking up a further extra deck spot in like a useless just Link 2 throwaway monster. Unicorn, Link 3, this could be like an access code as well. That's something I've been considering, just because like you need like large Link monsters to push through cards like um, what's it called, Dragoon, but you don't really have many pushes through Dragoon in this deck or this list currently. So yeah, that's the main of this extra deck. If there's any questions again regarding any of it or why I'm playing X cards, just let me know down below and I'll answer the question in as much detail. Now, for like some more questions about the deck. So, no Phaleg. So if people are playing Phaleg, this is something I'm like on and off about. I've been talking to Gabriel about it a lot, and we both don't think the card is very good. We both don't think the card's like playable at all. But the only argument it has for it is that it's makes all your guys big. So it literally gives you 300 attack and defense for each ritual in the graveyard. And most of your combos you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ritual monsters in graveyard. So that's what? 2100 attack? On top of that M7, that puts your M7 up to 4800. Which, realistically, you need a monster that can beat Dragoon. And I think Phaleg might be the answer just because it lets you tutor it out from the main deck. And it's an engine card, and it's really just not like a bad card to play. I could also be convinced again, access code does the same thing. Um, but the problem with access code is it just doesn't really fit in the extra deck without Unicorn. So if we cut Unicorn for access code, I just don't know if it would work or not. So that's like why Phaleg is like some food for thought. Is like it could be very viable in the future, but right now I'm not sure about it. Another cards are Extra Foolish Burial. So again, I'm not sold on Extra Foolish Burial just because it makes your combos awkward. So if you draw, so say you open like Coltwing and Extra Foolish Burial, you you can't like do all of the combos because if you use Extra Foolish Burial to like send a Herald to get a search so you can combo, it means that you're missing one Herald search throughout the combo. So unless you've got that target already in your hand, then it becomes really hard to handle it for the full 5. Which is why a lot of the time you need to like unform the Omega away to then put a Herald back. But then in any situation you draw Coltwing, it just becomes like this becomes like another brick essentially because you just can't play. Um, because you need to Omega back to COLTWING. So I'm not convinced on it, and the deck is already very, very consistent on itself. But I'm just going to have to do more testing with Extra Foolish just to see if I actually want to play it or not. Then another like big topic is the Magician of Black Chaos Max, and then the Ock that you need to Ritual Summon it. So Magician of Black Chaos Max is an insane card if basically as a your opponent, obviously, which is just an insane play. Unless you can do it going first as well, so you can like resolve Magician of Black Chaos Max and then combo afterwards. If your hand is like actually insane. But in this list, I'm not an advocate for it, just because you're hand looping for 5 when going first, so you don't really need to use it. But I am currently side decking it. So I'm side decking it for when I'm going second, or in matchups where I think I'm going to get hand trapped a lot. So if I'm playing against a combo deck, I will try and side this in, taking out some of my go second cards. Like I do currently main Dark Ruler, so I'd take Dark Ruler out of the main deck for Magician and Ock, because Ock is also still a level 4 ritual monster, so it's not terrible to draw. But it also just means that if I get hand trapped to Oblivion, then I can still just go summon Chaos Max, resolve it, and then I don't lose the game instead of just hand looping them. So it just gives this deck like another power play, if you know what I mean. And then obviously like there's like pros and cons to this, because again, it's like you can't do it in most of the situations if you get hand trapped because you haven't got access to your Herald, which is why you wouldn't be able to hand loop anyway. So it loses the exact same things that like the Gus Kraken hand loop does, except it doesn't take as much to fulfill the requirements for. Also, it being a level 8 means you can't search off like prep, which can be a little bit unfortunate, but you can still search off Talismandra or any of your 6 normal summons. So it does have validity. I'm just not sure on it as of yet. But I'd still continue siding it just because it gives you that like blow up mechanic when you get hand trapped. So another card. So if we start talking about Ghost second cards, you've got Gamma, Nibiru, Dark Ruler, Talents. There are other cards like obviously like Droll, which is really popular at the moment. Gnome. What other cards? Evenly, Lightning Storm. Those cards, but I don't think those are very strong right now. Imperm. I currently play Dark Ruler Gamma. I think I'll play Talents over Dark Ruler. I just don't own any, which is why Talents is like not in my list right now. But I think Talents is very good just because like you either just loop another card out their hand and they've got less cards to play with, and it's also just less cards for you to loop for, which means that like your weaker hands are more likely to loop for 5 if they hand trap you. But you can also just draw 2 cards if you're unfortunate and can't combo. Dark Ruler is really nice just because it helps break the dragon boards going second. Like a lot of them are ending on like Dragoon, Sphere, not Hope Harbinger, Buster Lock, Savage, Herald, or whatever. And if you just like again just Dark Rulering that, and then just before them for their life, and then just full combo afterwards, get rid of what resources they do have, and then you just end on a couple of interrupts. Like that's probably game at that point. Same like reasoning like Nibiru. I think Nibiru is very good right now in this deck just because you're playing like all the blowout cards, so Nibiru just gains even more power because you're gonna hand trap them. If you open like any hand trap plus Nibiru, it just makes Nibiru like an Exodia piece. Gamma is also like really good in this deck just because like a lot of your power cards like your Chalice Slime, your Pencil Plume, your Prep, your Unformed, they can all be hand trapped, but your opponent's not going to hand trap them because if you have Gamma, it becomes like such a blowout card. But Gamma, like if they don't hand trap them, they might just lose. So like it's like an interesting paradox. Also, playing Gamma unless you play E-Tele in the main deck, which it's a sucky one-off essentially because E-Tele just lets you play through hand traps because it gets you. Granite is like the main hotspot for your hand traps to be, because it's your researcher access. But just playing E-Tele circumvents that point because if they hand trap Granite, you've just got E-Tele and then you can full combo. This is also the same reasoning. I want to play multiple copies of Researcher, just because playing multiple copies of Researcher lets you play through hand traps, basically. So yeah, I think that's basically like all I want to talk about like the side decking cards and like tech spots for the deck. I'm definitely gonna test Extra Foolish Burial more. I want to test Phalag as well, but I'm not sure how much it will come up because if they have Dragoon plus like a full board, unless you literally draw Dark Ruler, it's like kind of hard to play through that. But yeah, it's definitely something to consider playing. even though it's a lot weaker than like any of these cards. But yeah, guys, that's basically it for this video. If you have any suggestions for my list, if you have any comments you want, or questions you want answered even, anything like that, just let me know down below, and I'll answer those questions for you. But yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel, as well as following all of our socials in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out our sponsors at the Brotherhood Games, Messamat and Card Pocket Down for high quality products and one of the best tournament organisers in the UK. Thanks for watching guys, and see you in the next video.